Son of a bitch. This would go to a minister's funeral dressed in feathers. See, son? Old legends never die, they just lose weight.
Like a legend in an out-of-work bum with a lot of light, Daddy.
Bandit, me and my son are here.
Oh, I love your suits. You must be a bitch getting a size 68 extra fat and a 12 dwarf.
What's he get if he wins this truck rodeo thing?
Yeah.
$5,000, Daddy.
Chicken shit money.
What the hell you want me?
You to get out of this dumbass rodeo and accept a real challenge.
Now get to Texarkana and back in 28 hours. That's no problem.
It ain't never been done before, hot shit.
Watch your language, little lady. Pour us beer. You take that east of Texas, and that's Kool-Aid.
You know, I believe you're just a little bit scared.
That's great psychology. Why don't you just say something bad about my mother?
Your mama is so ugly.
These Peterbilts here are worth $80,000. That comes to about $3 grand an hour if you make it 28 hours. How about that for a challenge?
Dad, I don't believe that that's necessary.
Never mind.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why do you want that beer so bad?
Because he's thirsty, dummy.
I've got a boy running tomorrow in the Southern Classic, and when he wins, I want to celebrate in style.
How much style?
Well, I got a few friends and me, 400 cases. Well,
Well, let me see your cash.
Big Enos's word is gold. All right, show him the cash. Look at the
Well, I see there's 400 cases of beer. I'll need to cash for that.
No problem. Go ahead, boy.
New car. I gotta have a new car to block for the truck, you know.
Okay, go ahead, boy.
I'd like to kick his ass just for you.
Speedy car. Speedier than that.
That's my favorite role of yours, Little Enos Burdett. You and Jackie Gleason really turned a good film into a great film. But how were you cast in that?
Say again? Oh, I was casting, well, Bert was on The Tonight Show, and I was, I probably was doing, either Hollywood Squares or something I was shooting at NBC. So, when I finished what I was doing, I'd trot on over to the set of The Tonight Show and, stand there, we'd go, let Pat know I was there, and we'd trot across the street and have a couple drinks afterwards and all, but there was something about being at NBC where you never knew who you were going to, just a quick story, walking around the halls as I'm walking around, headed for the set or whatever at NBC, there's a guy that walks by the other way and it's Bill Bixby. We both go past each other around the corner and I go, I cannot walk by that guy. I love him so much, and I turn around and he's doing the same thing. But we became great friends, and Bill Bixby got courtship with Eddie's father. I love him. He was a great friend. He's passed away since then, but it was amazing because you do something like the Hollywood Squares, you never knew who was going to be there. Well, there's Vincent Price, there's whatever, and whatever it was. Sometimes you grab somebody from there and say, you want to go have a drink with Pat McCormick and Ed McMahon. Ed and I drank. I never drank really with John, but Ed McMahon and I were pretty good buddies, and Pat McCormick was like a best friend. So finally, to answer your story, Bert's on the show, and he's looking over off into the dark of the side of the set. During a break, and he sees Pat and I, and he goes, I got an idea, guys, and I want to talk to you. So the next thing I know, I'm getting on a plane flying to Atlanta, and we did Smokey and the Bandit 1, 2, and even worse, and they kept giving us more and more money to make terrible versions of the first one. And we just had the best time. I described the last couple as The last one was a vacation to make and a job to watch, but that one, with Smokey and the Bandit, they put it out in the South. They didn't think it was going to do well. It's like they almost didn't release it with at the studio. And it just, when I get off the plane in Nashville, I'm a Beatle, for God's sake.
All right, well, one more clip here. Probably some of my favorite songs.
Telling the truth.
Oh, this is my favorite thing you put together, I think.
Telling the truth can be good news.
Telling the truth is a bad idea.
Telling the truth is a difficult problem. Telling the truth is a scary. Telling the truth is a scary predicament. Telling the truth is a bitter herb. Telling the truth is a dangerous tunnel. When you get out of that tunnel, it's got bitter black life ahead.
Forget herb. I never heard of a hit that had the word herb in it.
Telling the truth is a dangerous danger. Telling the truth can be dangerous.
What?
Danger. Telling the truth can be danger. Telling the truth can be dangerous business. Telling the truth can be dangerous business.
Why? Why? Why?
Telling the truth can be dangerous business because of yourself. Because you don't know why. Huh?
I'm just getting in with the idea.
Telling the truth can be dangerous business. If you don't know yourself, then you don't know why.
Oh, is that brilliant?
Telling the truth can be dangerous business. Honest and popular don't go hand in hand. If you admit that you can play the accordion, no one will hire you in a rock and roll band. But we can't sing our hearts out. And if we're lucky, we'll never complain.
Look at that. Simon and Garfunkel's greatest hit, Wild, Dangerous Business, is as good as anything they ever wrote.
You think so?
Sure, the only thing that Simon and Garfunkel or Bruce Springsteen or any of these guys have that we don't have is an agent.
You think so?
Dangerous Business is as good as Bridge Over Troubled Water any day of the week. Mr. and Mrs. Charles Thermopolis celebrating this evening their 53rd wedding anniversary.
I promised I'd love you forever. A promise I'm planning to keep. You'll be well taken care of after I've gone off to the land of the big sleep. Laying some love in my will. Yes, I'm leaving. Love in my will. My life is nearly over. It goes by so fast. And I wanted to give you a present to thank you for the past.
I'm looking for software. I gotta have software for my machine.
I got it.
If you admit that you can play the accordion, no one will hire you in a rock and roll band.
Shit, man, when you're on, you know.
Oh, hello, baby. Love you, baby.
She said, come look, there's a wardrobe of love in my eyes. Take your time, look around and see if there's something your size.
I can see her standing in the backyard of my mind. She cracks her knuckles and the scab that's on her knee won't go away. I can see the woman waiting in her eyes, and I can see the love, but I can't see the look of dodgers in her way. Telling the truth can be dangerous business. Honest and popular don't go hand in hand. If you admit that you can play the accordion, when the giddy part starts out. Me and you, and we can live with the pain. Because life is the way we auditions work out. Let's pray that we all get the job.
So I was asking Paul last night, I said I would love to hear your demos for Ishtar.
We do, you know, I don't know if they're gone or not, because there was a huge fire at, you know, at Fox where they had all these archives of major films, everything in life. But this was directed by Elaine May. She wrote it and directed it, produced by Warren. I spent a year at the Waldorf Astoria in New York writing songs. I must have written 50 songs for it, trying to get just the word from Elaine, like, what are you looking for? And she could never tell me. She'd say, I'll know when I hear it. And she was that way with the actors. She'd do 50 takes of something and not tell them what she wanted, but you know, but I loved the job. And when I did, the song that I finally wrote that she went, that's it, was Saturday morning, the sound of a lawnmower touches my soul, brings back the memories of first summer love of Will and me. That a lawnmower can do all that, that a lawnmower can do that, a lawnmower can do that. It's amazing, and this got her. I can see her standing in the background of my mind. She cracks her knuckles and the scab that's on her knee won't go away. I can see the woman waiting in her eyes, and I can feel the love, but I can't see the Brooklyn Dodgers in LA. Then she went, that's it. And my favorite line in the whole movie is, life is the way we audition for God. Let us pray that we all get the job. You know, it's one thing to be asked to write bad songs, but it's another thing to write songs that are believably bad. And the way I approach that is as an actor. I looked at Chuck and Lyle, these mismatched songwriters, and trying to inhabit what they would contribute to it. It was one of the best jobs I ever had. And it recently got a rave review from the New York Times that panned it when it came out. So it's like, the first time through they panned the shooting schedule, and the second time through they panned the movie. And I, you know, I still love it. I'm so proud of that job, no matter what it, you know, no matter what it costs. Anybody seen it?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody out there seen this show? Anybody out there love it? You're in the will.
No, I haven't.
All right, we have time for a few audience questions. Anybody? Sir?
I wanted to ask Mr. Williams, well, first of all, I'm in a Three Dog Night tribute band, so I wanted to ask you about your association with Three Dog Night and how that came about. And also, I'm a voice actor and impressionist. I do over 100 voices, and I wanted to ask you advice for, what advice would you have for somebody who does 100 voices? So, getting involved in the business. And
you know what, you're going to have to repeat your
Association with Three Dog Night?
Oh, God bless him. You know, Chuck Neverand and I are still really good friends.
yeah, how's he doing, by the way?
You know, I used to cut my demos at American Recording Studios on Ventura Boulevard, and it was owned by their producer, you know. So, you know, Roger Nichols and I, the first big record we had was On the Country by Three Dog Night.
Right, it's a great song.
And thank you. And REM incidentally covered it as well, which was cool. But they did Out in the Country. Then you know, it's funny because Roger and I wrote that, and then I wrote words and music to Old Fashioned Love Song, and they cut that. And then one that I wrote with my bass player,
Family of Man. Family of Man.
Jack Conrad, and Jack, thank you, I mean, we're a dear friend, and I am 83. But we wrote Family of Man together and all. And none of those three songs were songs that the band wanted to record. You know, and when I would see Chuck in those days, we'd walk by each other at the Rainbow or somewhere, and we were very busy doing other things. We might nod to each other, but probably not. But now, if I go out and I speak at a you know, a big fundraiser for a recovery issue or whatever, they always ask me, can you recommend somebody for next year? First person I call is Chuck, and he always says
yeah, because I'm in a Three Dog Night tribute band, so I'm real excited about doing the music. But I wanted to ask you about, I do voice impressions. I do over 100 voices, and I would ask you advice about getting into the business, because I've been trying to find an agent forever. So But
Are you a songwriter?
no, I'm a voice actor. I'm a
Voice
professor.
actor,
Yeah,
oh.
I do Johnny Carson.
Wow, I
I
gotta
do
tell
everybody.
you,
You know.
it's interesting
I did
because
not
I
know.
stumbled into it on the
Yeah.
voice of the Penguin and the Batman series.
Yeah, right.
And some stuff like that. God, I wish I could tell you that I would say that one of the great things to do is to get aggressive about collaboration. Anytime you can get on a stage anywhere, you live here,
Yeah.
you know, you live in a
But I'm from New
suburb,
York
you can-
originally,
you
so,
can send
yeah.
stuff in
Yep.
and you know, and just get edgy, just get pushy.
Yep.
You know, do some voices, whatever. If you know, what I tell somebody when they're trying to write music for stuff, find somebody that's making a short film. You know, go to a school and say you're going to do in short films. Let me
Yeah.
score your short film.
Like I'm pushing enough to
let
do
me
Bugs
that.
Bunny
So
for Warner Brothers. and call
If
them
you
up,
know
so.
an art studio or somebody that's doing something like, say, you know, let you use me for your voices. Get out and get pushy about it.
Definitely. I was trying to call Warner Brothers one time. I called Warner Brothers to actually do Bugs Bunny and told them I do better than one of the guys that actually doing it now.
So I called up Doug and I said, hey guys, you know, you guys do that one.
So,
I'm
I did
so-
Bugs.
My hearing is.
That's all right. I was doing my Bugs
as the
Bunny
day
for
goes
you.
on, I get a little audio.
You're an
fatigue and all,
inspiration,
so it's
Mr.
hard
Williams.
for
You're just one.
me
You're an
to hear. But anyway,
inspiration.
Good luck.
Thank you. You're an inspiration. I just want to tell you that.
Thank you.